The year is 1066. Picture England, an island kingdom on the edge of Europe. Imagine a land of rolling hills, ancient forests, and bustling Saxon towns. This year marks a pivotal moment in English history, a year forever etched in the annals of time, the Norman Conquest. William the Conqueror, Duke of Normandy, staked his claim to the English throne, leading to a clash of civilizations that would reshape the destiny of a nation. The events of 1066 would have profound and lasting consequences, leaving an enduring mark on England's language, culture, laws, and very identity. To understand the impact of 1066, we must first journey back to the years leading up to the invasion. England was ruled by the Anglo-Saxons, descendants of Germanic tribes who had arrived centuries earlier. The country was not a unified entity but rather a patchwork of kingdoms, each vying for power and influence. This fragmentation created a volatile political landscape, ripe for exploitation. Adding fuel to the fire, Viking raiders from Scandinavia continued to pose a constant threat, further destabilizing the Anglo-Saxon realm. Across the English Channel, in the Duchy of Normandy, a formidable figure emerged: William, the illegitimate son of Duke Robert I. William's upbringing was harsh, forged in the crucible of Norman politics. He was a ruthless and ambitious ruler, determined to expand his power. William claimed a distant blood tie to the English throne and saw an opportunity to seize the kingdom for himself. His ambition, combined with England's internal divisions, set the stage for a momentous clash. The fateful encounter took place on October 14, 1066, near the town of Hastings. The Anglo-Saxon forces, led by King Harold Godwinson, clashed with William's Norman army. The Battle of Hastings was a brutal and bloody affair. Norman cavalry, wielding lances and swords, charged against the shield wall of the Anglo-Saxon infantry. The course of the battle shifted back and forth, but the death of King Harold turned the tide. William emerged victorious, claiming the English throne as his own. Following his victory at Hastings, William moved swiftly to consolidate his power and establish Norman dominance over England. He initiated a massive building program, constructing castles, cathedrals, and fortifications across the land. These imposing structures, built in the distinctive Romanesque style, served as symbols of Norman authority and transformed the English landscape. They stood in stark contrast to the simpler wooden structures of the Anglo-Saxons. The Norman Conquest had a profound and lasting impact on the English language. Norman French, the language of the conquerors, became the language of the court, law, and administration. Over time, a linguistic fusion occurred, with Norman French words and phrases gradually seeping into the everyday speech of the English people. This blending of tongues gave birth to Middle English, a language that would eventually evolve into the English we speak today. William's arrival in 1066 marked the beginning of a new era in English history. His victory at the Battle of Hastings was just the start. The Norman Conquest brought about a radical restructuring of English society, fundamentally altering the social and political landscape. William implemented the feudal system, a hierarchical structure that defined relationships between the king and his subjects. This system was based on the exchange of land for loyalty and service. At the top of this pyramid was the king, who owned all the land and granted large estates to his most trusted Norman lords. These Norman lords, or barons, received vast tracts of land in exchange for their loyalty and military service. They were responsible for maintaining order and providing soldiers for the king's army. This land was not given freely. It came with the expectation of unwavering support and service. These lords, in turn, granted smaller parcels of land to their vassals, creating a chain of obligation that extended throughout society. Vassals swore fealty to their lords, promising to provide military service and other forms of support. This intricate web of relationships ensured that the king's authority reached every corner of his realm. To solidify his control and assess his newfound kingdom's wealth, William commissioned the Domesday Book in 1085. This monumental survey was an unprecedented effort to catalog the resources and ownership of land across England. The Domesday Book recorded detailed information about land ownership, resources, and even livestock. It provided valuable insights into the economic and social fabric of 11th century England. This comprehensive survey was a testament to William's administrative acumen and his desire to control and optimize his kingdom's resources. The Domesday Book remains one of the most important historical documents from medieval England, offering a window into the lives and livelihoods of its people. Section 8. Law and Order, Norman-style, centralized power, and royal courts. The Normans brought with them their own legal system and administrative practices, which gradually replaced the Anglo-Saxon customs. William established a more centralized system of government, strengthening the power of the monarchy. He established royal courts and appointed sheriffs to enforce his laws throughout the land. This centralization of power marked a significant departure from the more fragmented Anglo-Saxon system. Section 9. Echoes of 1066. The enduring legacy of the Norman Conquest. The Norman Conquest was a watershed moment in English history, its reverberations felt for centuries to come. When William the Conqueror defeated King Harold at the Battle of Hastings in 1066, it marked the beginning of a new era. This event not only changed the ruling class but also set in motion a series of transformations that would leave an indelible mark on the English landscape. The fusion of Norman and Anglo-Saxon cultures created a vibrant and dynamic society that would shape the destiny of England. The language we speak today is a testament to this blend, with Old English and Norman French merging to form Middle English, which eventually evolved into Modern English. This linguistic amalgamation enriched the vocabulary and complexity of the language, making it more expressive and versatile. The laws we live by were also profoundly influenced by the Normans. They introduced new legal concepts and practices, such as the feudal system, which redefined land ownership and social hierarchy. The Domesday Book, commissioned by William the Conqueror, was a monumental survey that laid the groundwork for modern property rights and taxation systems. The very fabric of our society all bear the indelible mark of 1066. Norman architecture, with its distinctive Romanesque style, transformed the English landscape. Castles, cathedrals, and fortifications built during this period still stand today as enduring symbols of Norman influence. These structures not only served military and religious purposes, but also became centers of administration and governance. The Norman Conquest serves as a reminder that history is not merely a collection of dates and names. It is a living tapestry woven from the threads of conquest, adaptation, and cultural exchange. The Normans brought with them new ideas, technologies, and customs that were gradually integrated into English society, leading to a period of significant growth and development. This period of integration and adaptation was not without its challenges. The blending of cultures often led to conflicts and resistance, but it also paved the way for innovation and progress. The legacy of the Norman Conquest is a testament to the resilience and adaptability of human societies, showing how diverse influences can come together to create a rich and multifaceted cultural heritage. Section 10. Beyond the battlefield, the human cost of conquest. While we often focus on the political and cultural ramifications of 1066, we must not forget the human cost of this historical upheaval. The Battle of Hastings and its aftermath brought death, displacement, and suffering to countless individuals. Anglo-Saxon nobles were dispossessed of their lands, their power and influence diminished. Ordinary people, caught in the crossfire of war, faced hardship and uncertainty. The Norman Conquest serves as a stark reminder that historical events, no matter how significant, are ultimately stories about people, their ambitions, struggles, and resilience. Section 11. Conclusion 1066. A catalyst for the England we know today. The Norman invasion of 1066 was a pivotal event that irrevocably altered the course of English history. This monumental conquest, led by William the Conqueror, marked the end of Anglo-Saxon rule and the beginning of Norman dominance. The Battle of Hastings, fought on October 14, 1066, was the decisive conflict that sealed the fate of England. While the conquest brought about violence and upheaval, it also laid the foundation for a new era. The Normans introduced feudalism, a system that restructured English society and governance. Castles sprang up across the landscape, symbolizing Norman power and providing defense against potential uprisings. The fusion of Norman and Anglo-Saxon traditions created a unique English identity. This blending of cultures influenced everything from language to legal systems. The English language itself evolved, incorporating Norman French vocabulary, which enriched its lexicon and altered its structure. The legacy of 1066 continues to shape England today, from its language and laws to its architecture and culture. The Tower of London, originally built by William the Conqueror, stands as a testament to Norman architectural prowess and their lasting impact on English heritage. It serves as a testament to the enduring power of historical events to shape the destinies of nations and the lives of individuals. The events of 1066 remind us that history is not just a series of dates and battles, but a complex tapestry of human experiences and cultural transformations that continue to resonate through the ages.